Balenciagas on my feet, stay in. Oh, boyfriend. I got these pointers, neck and wrist, stay in. Oh, boyfriend. I'm always fresher than the rest, stay in. Oh, boyfriend. Since 96, I'm in this game, stay in. Oh, boyfriend. Balenciagas on my feet, stay in. Oh, boyfriend. I got these pointers, neck and wrist, stay in. Oh, boyfriend. I'm always fresher than the rest, stay in. Oh, boyfriend. Since 96, I'm in. Welcome to another episode of No Cap Reacts. I'm your man Bailey, aka Mr. Go. Yeah. And we back with another episode. Yeah. I've been MIA. It's been a couple weeks. I got a life. I got things to take care of. I got things to do. This episode is gonna be way different than what I usually do. Okay. So I'm gonna start this off by going over a couple of different things. Let's go ahead and make me bigger for a minute. Just feel me out right there. That's good enough. All right. So a couple weeks ago, they did this thing called Roe versus Wade. Okay. For anybody that watches my channel, they probably call it red pill. Man, they probably think I'm sexist. Probably think I'm a misogynist. There's all kinds of terms that I'm positive I'm called. But what you guys don't realize is I have little girls, my daughters, that I very much care how she grows up, how she will grow up, and what will affect her or not. And as a father, you definitely pay attention and make sure that you are listening to the things that are actually being said out here in this world, especially when it comes to girls and women. Now, besides what you guys may think, I know who I am and I know how I feel about the situation. I know how I feel about little girls. Not only my own, but I have nieces, I have cousins, and they mean a lot to me. So, just based off of how I feel, when these things come out, I have to speak up on it. So initially, upon hearing about Roe versus Wade, um, my initial thought process is cool. It's not a man's thing, so I'm gonna stay out of it. You guys did create equality in that process, but as I dig deeper into the situation, I see some other things that are actually going on in our world where whether they we like it or not, they're literally trying to phase out the woman. They are trying to remove literally the women that helped create this nation. When I say that in the fact that this shit is literal. There is a war on biological women. Women that made this world exactly what it is. And the reasoning, unknown. But why does the government do a lot of things that they do? It is unknown. This has actually bothered me for some time now. So, on the process of doing that, I listened to Kamala Harris give her little speech over Roe vs. Wade, and she made it about our sons, not our daughters. And to me, that made zero sense because honestly, it's not a me problem. It's not my son's problem. This is something that directly affects women 100%. So, years ago, you had a guy by the name of Alfred Kinsey. And this man did studies on pedophiles and said he did studies on children and said that children were orgasmic. This was somebody that the government actually, when you look at rapes and rape laws and molestation laws, a lot of these things are used under Kinsey. And then behind Kinsey came John Money. Now, John Money's goal was to remove the Christian ideologies out of the government in order to no longer protect women and children. Now, in our current constitution, women and children are no longer safe under the Constitution. They are heralded just as men are. Men have always been considered lower. There's a reason why when there's a fire, they literally scream, women and children first. That's no longer the case. When I read these things, knowing I have a mother, a grandmother, aunts, uncles, and cousins, as a man, this bothers me. What also bothers me is recently a documentary comes out and it's called What is a Woman? And this documentary literally took this man all over the place, US and more, asking what is a woman? Now, a lot of people are going to take this as something against the LGBTQ community, but just going to be honest, it's really not. What this is the fact that if you look up define woman, the definition has been changed. See, a woman to me is a biological woman, someone that is biologically born as a female with reproductive organs. She grows up to have breasts and a vajayjay. She can physically birth a child as well as feed a child with her body alone. A biological woman or a woman becomes a mother
in most cases. Clearly, there are some women that cannot have children, but many that can. Biological woman or a woman is someone that in 500 years from now, if you dig up her bones, you will know 100% that it's a woman. But that is being taken away from you. And I'm not okay with that. So when I look at things of Roe versus Wade, and then now look at what they're doing with the term woman itself, it physically bothers and angers me. Because that means when all the little girls of the world grow up and become women, the world will no longer look at them as a woman. They're no longer protected. But before they even get there, all the little girls of the world today, here, right now, are also no longer protected. And well, little boys who, well, we were never really protected anyway, but they were at least shielded, and they no longer are either. So it makes me question what our country is truly coming to, or where it's going, and why. So I'm gonna do a reaction, and this reaction is to another reaction to just a portion of the documentary What is a Woman? So we just gonna jump into it.
I've been excited to see the rest of this. Matt Walsh, president.
My trip to California isn't providing many answers, but at least I'm making new friends. You worry about kids walking around out here?
No, because I raised two daughters. They're two of the most well-adjusted adults. They grew up around naked people,
out, though?
and
What's the
there's
gay
been
pride
studies
there?
that have shown that children raised around non-sexual nudity actually have fewer hang-ups when they're adults.
So you will hear and see some things that are out of the ordinary, but it's to give us a better picture.
People do have hang-ups. There's a lot of things hanging right now during this conversation. Can anyone be any gender they want to be? Can a man become a woman if he wants to be?
I leave that. I mean, what people do, that's personal choice. People can live the life they want to. I'm trying to live the life I want to, an authentic life, and
I can see
that's
that.
why I respect other people's rights and to choose what they want to do.
Question, though.
Well, why are you asking a gay man as to what it means to be a woman? You should be asking women what it means to be a woman, especially trans women, what it means to be a woman.
I'm asking all kinds of people. Can anyone have an opinion about it?
Only people who are women. Gay men don't know nothing about what it means to be a woman.
Have you told gay men here in San Francisco that they're not allowed to talk about this?
No. But it's not like I come around and say what a gay man is allowed to be.
So you're saying if you're not
That's a
a
dude?
woman, then you shouldn't have an opinion.
Where does a guy get a right to say what a woman is? Women.
So this is the crazy part. Here is a visibly gay, if not trans person, that is refusing to answer question of what a woman is. This happens throughout this entire documentary, right? And to me, that's the craziest part is people are refusing to even answer the question of what a woman is. So when I see things like this, I look as if women's rights are 100% being taken away from them. And then at the same moment, in order to make sure that that happens, you just stop talking about what a woman is, period. But see, he's going to ask a very logical question, which, well, you'll see how they answer.
Women only know what women are.
Are you a cat?
No.
Can you tell me what a cat is?
You gonna walk away. Watch. He gonna walk away.
This is actually a genuine mistake. I'm sorry I didn't come up here.
He made the fucking
You wanna
most
tell us what a woman is?
valid point, babe. He made
You
the
already
most.
knew.
So throughout this, that is pretty much what happens throughout this entire video. Okay, let's move forward.
Mistake. Gotta
You want to tell us
bless.
what a woman is?
Soft.
Wow.
All this uterus, fucking fallopian,
This
ovary shit going on, but you can't tell.
So again, this is a reaction to the reaction of the actual documentary. What is a woman?
What a
Because it's
fucking
just
woman
a
is.
that's crazy.
For my guys that are out here, it is time for us to literally stand up and protect our women because they are literally trying to phase them out in every single way. And I don't care what you think of me or what you think of me. I'm not letting it happen. Not to my daughters, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles. This is crazy.
Easy.
Man.
But you know what? The next
This shit. Whether I need to.
But men can get pregnant?
We're saying someone who was born as a woman but identifies as a man.
that a man?
Real man.
It's a real man.
Yeah.
So men can get pregnant.
Yes, if we're saying yes.
If they have the parts to do so.
Is it just women that give birth, or is it?
Or I guess, yeah.
So
But
men.
look, babe, remember, wow. We say that this is just the powers that be fucking with motherfuckers, right? Preying on the weak. If that's the case, why is everybody going along with this narrative?
Because everybody's sheep. The majority. It's like there's leaders and followers. Followers need leaders. Leaders need followers. There's much less
Outside of
leaders.
even common sense, though, like these motherfuckers, they're out here protesting for women's rights and shit. It takes a special motherfucker to go out here and protest. Everybody doesn't do that. There's a specific type of person that goes out and does this shit, but then they get presented with some shit you would think a sensible person would, like, all right, you talking stupid. But
I hope that it was just those 4 girls. That
you see what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah, it's like a recurring thing.
Yeah, like everybody just soft.
Well, they just. I guess every woman can picture herself in a situation, or a woman that they know in a situation where they would want to have an abortion from a fucked up situation, and now they can't, and that's like.
But
upsetting.
everybody not gonna go out there and protest though. Like black people be getting all fucked up. You don't see me out there goddamn protesting and shit. The majority of people don't be out there protesting. You all women's rights motherfuckers. You don't be out there protesting. It take a certain motherfucker to go out here and be like,
the Karens of the world.
You know what I'm saying? So like a Karen of the world, I'm assuming if you present, like if you was out there protesting, a motherfucker be like, what's a woman? Or they present you with some trans shit, like, you goddamn right. I got ovaries, they don't. Then that a fucking woman. I expect some energy like that.
Right, some more feminist energy.
But it's not.
I'm a woman, but you can't even say the word woman these days. So how do you feel about that?
Exactly. I was just confused.
But it's that's why this is so diluted to me. All this. Everybody having just such a strong opinion and having their fucking
speaking
opinion
truth.
pretty much, literally.
I think they just fucking jumping on a new fucking
Yeah.
trend hopping shit. Yeah.
could give birth to?
anyone with
Because it literally won't affect any of them.
Well, that
or
could be a
probably
male or
anybody they know.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I think that's the whole point, right? That it's fluid. The way that we define these things
Like,
changes.
if I wanted the government in my vagina, I'd fuck a politician. That is women specific. But now you're including everybody into what the fuck it means to be a woman by her stance.
Well, I mean, I think that's the whole point, right? That it's fluid. The way that we define these things changes a lot. What are you doing?
The definition of a woman is not fluid, and it does not change.
And this is the Women's March. I figured this is a good place to find out.
Exactly.
I've come all this way to ask that question. Can anyone tell me what a woman is?
You are not here for women. We ask you to leave.
What is that?
So here's the crazy part. He is actually 100% there for women and for women's rights. But because he is a man, they don't even give him a chance. This war of man versus woman, I'm so over.
How am I harassing? I'm asking a question.
Like, what the fuck? He's not saying anything opposing their agenda right now. It's
At
off
all.
topic. It's off topic. But
He's just asking what a woman is.
you would think they trans rights activists out here.
How am I harassing? I'm asking a question. Whose body?
Which body?
What is a woman? Can anyone here at the Women's March tell me what a woman is?
I guess they'll probably feel antagonized
Just because, yeah.
they're on some women shit. So fuck out of here.
How about you tell me what a woman is and I'll put a mask on? Sir.
Put a
Tell me
mask
what a
on?
woman is and I'll put a mask on.
For real, it's like that. It's like that.
Is that Mount Walsh's security guard? And I ain't got time for y'all.
Please, if one person could tell me what a woman is.
I guess I can see how that's antagonistic for their stance. They out here fighting for women and he questioning what the fuck a woman is,
But it's funny because he's actually on their side.
Yeah, but I guess the optics probably was fucking with them. But the conversations he's had with them, they should know that that's not what he's on, and they're still out here.
But you know, they out there,
fluid,
but they out
blah,
there
blah,
like
blah.
hostile energy anyway. So anyone that's coming at them, you know, from the side, like they not really trying to have a conversation.
But the ones he actually pulled to the side, they were still on some dumb shit.
Yeah, they were.
Woman is by any chance?
No idea.
I've been all over
I should have
America.
said are trans women too. That's what he should have put on.
I still can't find an answer.
Yeah, but he tried to just keep it easy, an easy question.
Maybe I'm looking too close to home.
Oh, this is funny. I saw this shit on the snippet.
Oh
of this
yeah, they not gonna have none of this.
They're not playing none.
But you're here.
Motherfucker. Otherwise, motherfucker's gonna end up dead.
Yeah.
I'm
Body
gonna
chilling, so they don't. Yeah.
I'm gonna fast forward through that part because them going to another country doesn't actually answer the question. Well, they easily answer the question.
On what you are telling me.
He's shocked.
Yeah.
The Maasai people don't think much about gender, but they have a firm sense of their identity.
Bunnies.
It's clear that gender ideology is a uniquely Western phenomenon.
Facts.
So where did all this come from? Who came up with it?
Weak men.
And why?
Weak times.
Matt, I want to show this to you. You're a parent,
Easy
right?
times.
Okay? It's perfectly normal for 10 years and up. Here's just one page I want you to see here.
What?
All right, so I want you guys to actually see this. Yeah, that is a boy in bed with the boy. It's gonna be even crazier when you find out the age. This is school.
For 10 and up, huh?
Damn.
It's
I'm fighting,
unspeakable.
babe.
What these
I'm
people
fighting.
have done to our children.
When did that start? When was it decided that we need to start teaching kids about this stuff at such a young age?
So I'll
It's
answer that with
upsetting
one
to get
word.
my homegirl.
Kinsey.
What part is this? 4? Let's go to 5.
Kinsey was a social reformer. He wanted to rid society of Judeo-Christian values when it came to sexuality. And he worked very hard to do that, and I would say he succeeded.
Okay, so I said it in the reverse in my intro to this, but let's move forward.
Kinsey would be very happy with our culture today. His idea was that children are sexual from birth, that we're all inherently sexual creatures from cradle to grave. He believed that true happiness is found in a life of perverse sexual experimentation, no matter the age.
What came out is that his research was fraudulent.
Kinsey based his fraudulent conclusions on data he collected from convicted sex offenders and child molesters. His research was conducted in prisons, not everyday America. He also performed horrific sexual experiments on children, some under the age of 1.
You heard what he just said?
I don't even.
You heard what he just said?
I don't even want. I don't.
Performed horrific sexual experiments on children, some under the age of 1.
And the government stood behind this man. Yeah. If this alone doesn't make you angry, something is wrong with you.
His most influential book, Sexual Behavior in the Human Male, contains an infamous chart called Table 34, which documents the orgasms of very young kids. This chart called Table 34.
Are you kidding me?
5-month-old, 3. How the fuck can a 5? I don't even know why I took it there.
Time involved. So it's 2 columns. Okay.
11-month-old, 10 orgasms. How the fuck?
This is
But
Capp.
it's
This
Capp
is
because
made
11-month-old
up.
doesn't have the stimuli down there to fucking get orgasm. What the fuck you talking about? But I'm surprised I jumped there that quick. I should be more focused on the fact that he did this shit to people that goddamn young.
This is crazy.
10 years old, 14. 4 years old, 17. Time involved, 10 hours, 24 hours. What?
Yeah, world.
13-year-old, 70. And how the fuck you know? Is it boys? How the fuck you know a 5-month-old girl is having an orgasm?
You literally can't know.
Yes. This is what this man did. And the government is making all of this currently a reality. The fact that kids are being marketed sexuality through now TV shows, Disney movies, and more. They go to school and they have sex ed at what, 3rd grade now? They're being told that they can choose who or what their sexuality is. And it goes deeper than that.
That's rough. That's dark right there. I wasn't expecting no shit like that. That make my damn stomach hurt.
Before,
And
which
this is
documents
the
the
shit they're
orgasm of
pushing
very
down
young
our
kids,
kids' throats.
including
This is
babies
why.
as young as 5 months old. But instead of
Everybody.
suffering the consequences for his heinous actions,
Everybody.
he was and still is celebrated by
Cancel us.
academia
It's all
and
good.
Hollywood. His ideas form the foundation for sexual education in public schools
You need to
today.
get stoned.
How do we
to
get
death.
from this to... You can choose your
And
own.
that's why I said stone, because he was back then. That's what they did to
Oh.
motherfuckers back then when it was old. They were fucking shot to death on them.
He need to
Okay,
get
well
to-
now we have another
Ain't
very
the painful
important
death. That ain't painful.
And
We
his
need
name
to
was
be
John
burned to death.
Money.
John Money was a psychologist and professor at Johns Hopkins University. Gender ideology was his brainchild. In fact, he coined the terms gender identity and gender roles. And according to
Because he's
Money,
gay, that's probably why.
babies are gender neutral at birth. And ultimately, environment determines whether a person is a man or a woman.
Money was telling the world about his theory that a boy could be raised as a girl.
So what's up with the Neanderthals before we had education to fucking before shit got goddamn soft? Back in the day when dinosaurs was around, you know what the fucking man and a woman was. We wasn't having this conversation. Fuck you mean?
The world about his theory that a boy could be raised as a girl and do just fine, and vice versa.
And so Money tried out his theory on 2 young twin boys, the Reimer
He
twins.
fucked them up.
When the
for
twins
life.
were 8 months old and they went to be circumcised, the first twin, whose name was Bruce,
This is what they're doing.
something went wrong with the machinery and his penis was burnt off. They stopped and didn't do a second circumcision on the other twin, as you might imagine. And the parents, of course, didn't know what to do. How are they going to raise this child?
John Money convinced Bruce's parents to transition him into a girl. Money also conducted sexual...
And the parents, of course, didn't know what to do. How are they going to raise this child?
John Money convinced Bruce's parents to transition him into a girl. Money also conducted sexually abusive experiments on the twins throughout their childhood, including forcing them to simulate sex acts on each other.
He reported up to the age of 10 that this was a complete success. Well, wasn't true.
The results were a disaster. Bruce could never fully accept his female identity. Eventually, his parents told him the truth, and he chose to transition back to a boy, taking the name David.
He killed himself.
As an adult, David spoke out about the abuse and the damage done to him by John Money.
This is
The girls
sick.
would do their things with their Barbies and things like that, and that wouldn't interest me.
Mm.
And,
That's the one that got his dick burnt off.
Things such as trucks and building forts and you know, getting to the odd fist fight and climbing trees. That's the kind of stuff that I like, but it was unacceptable. So I'd never.
As a girl.
As a girl, I had no place to fit.
I honestly don't care what anyone says in life. We are genetically created to be exactly who we are. It's not a choice. It's our DNA. Now, can we make a choice to try to be something else? Yes. But what many of you guys don't do is the research to find out as quickly as they make that choice. Give it some time. They reverse their choices. But who am I? We'll let them tell their own stories.
The trauma that he...
How can you? That's all you need.
This shit's giving me chills.
That's all you need, motherfuckers.
No, people won't listen to this.
They cut my dick off and tried to make me be a girl, but that shit didn't matter. I still wanted to do boy shit 'cause I was born a fucking boy.
It's upsetting.
He and his brother and his entire family went through left deep scars. His brother died of an overdose when he was 38, and then David committed suicide.
You knew that was coming.
There was never a retraction or an apology from John Money.
Apology?
Instead, his ideas were
Fucking
adopted
devil.
by mainstream psychology, and they form the basis of gender ideology today. Why don't more people know about John Money and
You already know that shit
Robert
goes.
Kinsey?
They know that.
Evidently, there are forces.
Matt Walsh is doing the work of the people.
Yes.
He is.
And he got, but he got demonized so much on
It's
social media for this,
crazy.
doing God's work. If you want to call some shit God's work, this is fucking God's
This
work
is
for the
it.
people. And he getting demonized.
Y'all sick. Wake the
That
fuck
don't want this
up.
information out.
I never fit. I was an alpha female, a sales executive that kind of just didn't fit in any box.
All I heard was alpha female.
When psychologists or somebody that I was in love with or whatever said that I was in the wrong body, I started to think, well, maybe I am. I'm a biological woman that medically transitioned to appear like a male through synthetic hormones and surgery. I will never be a man.
I'll be a man.
Is it transphobic for me to tell the truth? Why is it that a couple hundred years from now, if you dug up my body, they're gonna go, yeah, that was a woman, had babies.
Can you?
So in my intro, I said that it doesn't matter what you identify as today. A woman is biological. And in 100 years from now, if we dig up your bones, or 500 years from now, if they dig up your bones, they're just going to say that this person was a woman. So the fact that nobody can officially come out and say what a woman is, or they're refusing to, is what makes no sense. When I say, what is a woman? Documentary is something that all women should be watching. There is a war against the women in the world we live in. And I'm not having it. Period. I don't care who doesn't like it. I know a lot of the shit you guys don't like what I say because you think that I'm a misogynist and an asshole and all this other shit because I point out the things in dating that go wrong between men and women. But in this situation, it's something a lot deeper than that. You can't erase a woman out of the world. Not while I'm alive. This world was created by women. I was birthed by a woman. My daughter was birthed by a woman. She is currently a little girl. And for some reason, women and children are under attack by our current government for who knows what reason. And I ain't going for it.
Tell me about the procedures that you had.
I've had 7 surgeries. I've had 1 stress heart attack. I've had a helicopter life ride with a pulmonary embolism. I've had 17 rounds of antibiotics. I had 6 inches of hair on the inside of my urethra for 17 months. Nobody would help me, including the doctor that did this to me because I lost my insurance. I get infections every 3 to 4 months. I'm probably not gonna live very long.
Was there any real discussion of the risks and the side effects? And
No. No, there's not. And I know that people want to think that there is, but there's not. The truth is that medical transition is experimental. We have studies that said that medical transition helps mental health with kids. They've all been retracted, modified, changed. But the only long-term study tells us 7 to 10 years is when transgender people are the most suicidal.
After?
After surgery. But that's transphobic to say. For the first time in history, a marginalized group has a huge...
How can
that
how
money.
can you refute that? How can you say y'all are forcing people to their own death?
Yep.
But everyone's just, yeah, this was
And
fair.
they're so passionate about it, like
Y'all are making people die.
Huge dollar sign on the top of their head. We have has a huge dollar sign on the top of their head. We have 5 children's hospitals in the United States promoting that.
What?
That's a phalloplasty. That's a bottom surgery. We have 5
took his skin
children's
from there.
hospitals.
Took his skin from there to do whatever the fuck they did to make him.
To make him a woman. Make his penis.
Yeah.
That's a phalloplasty. That's a bottom surgery.
Hold up. They're doing this to kids. Hear what he said.
Him a man.
Phalloplasty. That's a bottom. huge dollar sign on the top of their head. We have 5 children's hospitals.
5 children's hospitals. Makes me mad.
In the United States, promoting that.
What?
That's a phalloplasty. That's a bottom surgery. We have 5
Took his skin
children's
from there.
hospitals.
Took his skin from there to do whatever the fuck they did to make him a man.
To make
Surgically,
him a dick?
yeah.
That's a phalloplasty. That's a bottom surgery. We have 5 children's hospitals in the United States telling girls that they can be boys at $70,000 a pop in a surgery that has a 67% complication rate. That will kill me from infection that I can't sue on. We're butchering a generation of children because nobody's willing to talk about anything. I have 3 kids. At the age that they're doing this to kids. I'm not transphobic. I love my kids, and I love other people's kids, and you should too. This is wrong on so many levels.
Bro, why the fuck isn't this shit on every goddamn platform out here?
This
Fucking
needs to be-
ABC, CNN, NBC, Fox, all this shit, man.
It needs to be.
Literally. If this doesn't make you sick to your stomach.
You put this on YouTube, they censor you. Limit you.
This is wrong on so many levels.
Can kids consent? Do you think kids are
No.
Absolutely not.
consenting to this?
No, they're not. Being a parent is loving the hell out of your kids and helping them see around corners.
What's the youngest patient that you've operated on?
The youngest patient I've done vaginoplasty on is age 16.
Do you worry that minors just don't understand enough about themselves? They're not neurologically developed enough yet to make permanent life-altering decisions?
Absolutely not.
A young person's self-perception, one day they may be clear.
I'm going to give you guys just a general idea of what is a woman and what it was about. It goes so much deeper than that. But you would actually need to watch it. The world we live in right now is fucked up. I'm sorry to say, it's fucked up. And for so many of you, you're not even going to care. But there's a lot that I want to say, but I don't even know how to, honestly. I just hope if any of my videos go viral, it's this one. Ladies, I don't care what you think of me. I'm more with you than I am against you. I wish we could fix the male-female intersexual dynamics, the issues and the problems that we have. But I feel like over the last 40 to 50 years, they've created this fight to where men and women are exactly what we are today, where we don't get along with each other. We argue, we fight, we go through things. And it has created this internal war of men versus women, when at the end of the day, I think it's more of the government versus us. And they have an agenda that we're unaware of, but we're so busy fighting each other that we're not even paying attention. And to me, it hurts because you can actually see what is happening in the world we live in right now. And there's so many sheep that for us bulls, they could actually pick us off one by one because we're not standing together. So again, if you watch this, you will find that at one point in time, the word woman had a meaning. In 2022, you no longer have a meaning. And for some reason, it feels like you could even be replaced. I hope people will actually pay attention so we can get this right. Because if we don't, it's going to be real hard for a lot of ladies out here. And as a father, seeing my kids, especially my daughter,